At number 10, Jason Biggs. Actor Jason Biggs is known for his role in American Pie as well as being the voice of Leonardo in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles animated series. Or at least he used to be known for that. Now he's known as the guy who got fired from Nickelodeon. After some of Jason's past tweets resurfaced, Nickelodeon cut ties with the actor because of the nature and content of said tweets. Some of Jason's messages online included remarks about the Malaysian Airlines tragedy as well as some pretty crude remarks about the wife of politician Paul Ryan and a number of other tweets that detailed the stereotyping of Asian drivers. His tweets also included a number of sexist remarks and were very vulgar. All in all, some very offensive things were said, and like any celebrity, he was cancelled for it. Though Jason claimed that he meant these tweets to be seen as jokes, they weren't seen that way by most of the public. These tweets resurfaced after Nickelodeon wanted to promote Jason's Twitter page because he was a member of the cast of the TMNT series. But after seeing what horrid tweets lurked beneath, they surely regretted their decision to do so, and so did Jason, since this caused him to lose his job. After backlash ensued, Nickelodeon issued a statement saying that they, quote, insisted Jason use better judgment and discretion in public communications while affiliated with their brand, end quote. At number 9, Bow Wow. There are a lot of public figures out there who love to flex their riches and status. Influencers do it, celebrities do it, everyone does it. Lots of rappers in particular are known to flex their lavish lifestyles for their fans, but in the case of rapper Bow Wow, his attempt to flex just straight up failed, and he surely regretted doing so. Back in May of 2017, Bow Wow took to social media to tell his fans that he was about to hop on a plane to New York and shared a photo of a private jet. He was really adamant about making it look like he was traveling in style on a private airplane, but fans quickly noticed that something just wasn't right with that photo. You see, the photo that he posted of the private jet turned out to just be a stock image of a random jet. It wasn't even his. And on top of that, a Twitter user on a commercial flight called him out by saying that he was actually on the same flight as the rapper. So not only did he lie about having a private jet, but he also got caught flying on a normal commercial flight. Not that there's anything wrong with flying commercially, because it's actually better for the environment to do so, but I'm just saying that it must have been pretty embarrassing for the rapper in that moment, and he probably regretted ever posting that photo. Now before I carry on with the list, I would like to ask you guys to consider leaving a big ol' thumbs up on this video if you're enjoying it so far, and also consider checking out my gaming channel Viper Girl if you're interested in gaming content. I upload new Minecraft videos every single day, so come on over and check it out and subscribe while you're there. At number 8, James Gunn. I'm pretty sure you are all familiar with James Gunn, but if not, he's a pretty famous director who's worked on countless films over the years. Even though he's well credited, that doesn't mean that he's immune from getting cancelled though. Back in 2018, some of Gunn's old tweets started resurfacing, and they were pretty bad. The tweets included some incredibly offensive and disturbing things about young people, sexual remarks, and discussing themes regarding hurting others, as well as other insensitive messages. As a result, Disney ended up briefly cutting ties with the filmmaker ahead of their filming of the third installment of the Guardians of the Galaxy films. In a statement released by the company, the executives at Disney said, quote, the offensive attitudes and statements discovered on James's Twitter feed are indefensible and inconsistent with our studio's values, and we have severed our business relationship with him, end quote. After issuing a public apology, it seems as though James won over the executives at Disney and was welcomed back to the team to direct the next Guardians film. Even though he was able to bounce back from that scandal, he surely regretted those tweets when he lost his job and some of his credibility. At number 7, Kathy Griffin. Out of all of the celebrity Twitter scandals out there, I think Kathy Griffin's scandal is probably the most well known. For those who may not know the story behind this and the comedian's cancellation, back in 2017, Kathy posted a photo of herself holding a fake model of Donald Trump's head. The post was pretty gory, bloody, and graphic, and it offended a lot of people. Trump supporters and non-supporters alike were pretty taken aback by this post, as many said that she took things way too far. As a result of the post, Kathy was subsequently fired from CNN, where she held a job co-hosting the New Year's Eve broadcast alongside Anderson Cooper. But after this bloodied head broke the internet, the broadcasters cut ties with the comedian, and it did a lot of damage to her career. She was already someone who was known for being a little offensive at times, and so this scandal greatly impacted her career. She regretted making this post because of how much backlash she got at the time, and she issued an apology for it, but after the most recent presidential election, she posted this same photo again, so maybe she didn't regret it as much as we thought she did. But honestly, who knows? At number 6, Gilbert Gottfried. For comedian Gilbert Gottfried, things were going good for him as he was the voice of the Aflac duck in the Aflac commercials. Even though it doesn't sound like the most glamorous of gigs, it was still notable. Even though things were going pretty well for him, things took a sharp turn after the devastating earthquake and tsunami that decimated Japan back in 2011. This tragedy was felt heavily around the world as people banded together to come to the aid of those who were affected, but not Gilbert. Instead, the comedian fired off some pretty insensitive tweets that played off the natural disaster and got people pretty heated. Godfrey tweeted saying, quote, "I split up with my girlfriend, but like the Japanese say, there'll be another one floating by any minute now," end quote. "I was talking to my Japanese real estate agent. I said, is there a school in this area? She said, not now, but just wait," end quote. These were some seriously messed up tweets that nobody found even remotely funny, and as many people, including the people at Aflac, determined, this was seriously uncalled for and insensitive. As a result, Gilbert lost his job as the Aflac Duck, and he no doubt regretted ever tweeting these things after getting cancelled and losing his job. At number 5, Roseanne Barr. Roseanne Barr had a very successful sitcom in the late 80s, and after 20 or so years off the air, it was granted a reboot in 2018. This was a pretty big deal for Roseanne and for fans of the original show, but unfortunately, due to a Twitter scandal, all of that came to a screeching halt. After a great first season, a second season seemed to be on the horizon, but they got their hopes up too soon as Roseanne decided to tweet something very insensitive, and it ended with both herself and the show getting cancelled. The actress sent out a tweet comparing a member of Barack Obama's advisors, Valerie Jarrett, to an ape, as she said, quote, "Muslim Brotherhood and Planet of the Apes had a baby," end quote. Roseanne said that this tweet was a joke formed from her, quote, "inebriated condition caused by mixing prescription pharmaceuticals and alcohol." The executives over at ABC did not think that this joke was funny in the slightest, and so instead of renewing her show for another season, it was cancelled instead. Though she initially issued an apology for the tweet, she later doubled back, saying that it was the fault of her co-star Sarah Gilbert, as well as the fault of Michelle Obama, that the show got cancelled. She later learned to regret this tweet as her career pretty much ended after this one. At number 4, Shila Iqbal. Actress Shila Iqbal was an up-and-coming actress on the British soap opera Emmerdale, but her fame didn't last too long as her positive media attention turned negative after some of her past racist and homophobic tweets came to light. Just a few weeks after being promoted to a series regular on the show, these tweets resurfaced and came to light, painting a very ugly picture of the actress in the media. Among those offensive tweets contained some that saw her using the N-word as well as using the word gay in a derogatory manner. Sheila was quick to address the scandal and issued an apology for her tweets, saying, quote, "I am terribly sorry and take full responsibility for my use of such inappropriate language. We live in sensitive times for members of all communities. I regret that I too have let people down by the use of such language, albeit 6 years ago. I, like everyone else, have responsibility about the language that I have used on social media as well as in conversation," end quote. Unfortunately for Sheila, this wasn't enough for showrunners, and so they decided to terminate her contract with them, removing her from the show. She did regret the messages, but only after getting caught. At number 3, Rita Ora. I would imagine it would be very embarrassing to get let down on social media, but even more so by your own fans. That's what happened to Rita Ora when she tried to promote one of her new songs on social media back in 2014. She sent out a tweet to her fans saying, quote, "Dropping my new song Monday if this gets 100,000 retweets," end quote. Sadly for Rita, that tweet didn't even come close to getting 100,000 retweets, and it only received around 2,000. Then, I'm assuming as damage control after realizing how badly that tweet went, she sent out another one saying, quote, "By the way, my Twitter got hacked. Somebody is threatening to release new music I've worked really hard on. Nothing comes out until I'm ready," end quote. I don't think anybody really bought that, and she probably was just trying to cover up her embarrassment. This tweet was certainly one that she regretted because of how cringy it ended up being for her. At number 2, Dean Nguyen. Reality star Dean Nguyen, who was known for being on the show The Challenge, was fired from her role on the reality show after facing mass scrutiny for her tweet about George Floyd and the Black Lives Matter movement. The BLM movement saw a huge jump in support and publicity last year, and so as these issues became more publicized and more talked about, Twitter saw a huge storm of pro and anti-everything, and Dee was caught in a scandal surrounding those issues. 2 of her tweets sent out during this time were seen as highly offensive by fans and other members of the public. Dee sent out one tweet that said, quote, "I don't know why some of you think I'm anti-BLM. I've been saying that since the day I lost my virginity," end quote. The reality star also tweeted in response to a post about George Floyd saying, quote, "People die every effing day," end quote. As a result of these tweets and the backlash that followed, Dee was fired from all future shows with MTV, effectively stopping her career dead in its tracks. The reality star issued an apology saying that she didn't mean to come across as offensive, but the damage was already done by then, and so I'm sure she regretted ever sending out those messages. And finally, at number 1, Hartley Sawyer. For Flash actor Hartley Sawyer, things will probably never be the same, because after he was cancelled last year and fired from his role on the CW show The Flash, he's been MIA, and no one has forgotten about the horrible tweets that resurfaced in 2020 amidst the Black Lives Matter movement. Some of the aforementioned tweets span as far back as 2009 and highlight Hartley's offensive attempt at humor, many of them including racist, sexist, homophobic, and even violent messages. As a result of these offensive tweets, Hartley was fired from his role, and the showrunners of The Flash issued a statement after Hartley was let go where they condemned the language that he used in his tweets, reassuring fans that they were not supportive of the actor nor his behavior. Hartley no doubt regrets ever tweeting these things because he's pretty much lost everything, and we may never see his return to Hollywood as a result. This just teaches you that being an offensive and rude person gets you nowhere.
Starting us off at number 10 is Evan Rachel Wood. The world was shattered when the news broke that Kobe Bryant died tragically in a helicopter crash, including one of his daughters. But the actress posted a very controversial tweet shortly after the news, and it ended with her locking down her own Twitter account. She posted a tweet saying, I quote, "I am heartbroken for Kobe's family. He was a sports hero, he was also a rapist, and all these truths can exist simultaneously." She was referring to the 2003 sexual assault case that was dropped and later settled on in court. She received a ton of backlash, as you can imagine, and just 2 days later, her Twitter was locked and marked as private. She ended up deleting the tweet and posted another one after that saying, "What happened is tragic." That didn't make anything better for her. If anything, it fueled even more negative comments because she wasn't apologizing for what she said. She was just stating that it was tragic, which we already knew. Moving on to number 9 is Walmart. Now I know this isn't technically a human celebrity, but it's definitely a popular company and it's my list, so I am counting it. The company came under fire after its Twitter account made a joke about Paul Walker, the actor who passed away in a car crash back in 2013. A Twitter user who had shared a GIF on a car racing through traffic for some Pillsbury cinnamon rolls being sold at Walmart. The company responded to that tweet saying, "Hey, Paul Walker, click it or ticket." They received a ton of backlash and deleted it quickly, also issuing an apology saying, "We apologize to Paul Walker's family, friends, and fans." The tweet was posted in poor judgment and has been removed. That is probably for the best. Cruising into the number 8 spot is Zac Efron. Remember the time when he totally embarrassed himself on Twitter after making a joke about Martin Luther King's Day? He served the world as being a poster child for the 21st century, but people were not looking up to him for moral guidance after his tweet. On the holiday, he tweeted out a photo of himself with the caption, "I'm grateful for a couple things today. Martin Luther King Jr. and 10 million followers on Instagram. Hashtag MLK Day." He even added in some dark-skinned emojis with it. He was trying to celebrate his recent success on Instagram, but people were furious that he was making light of the holiday that is meant to show gratitude for a civil rights leader. But after he saw how upset people were, he deleted the tweet and issued an apology for being insensitive to it. Next up at number 7 is Amanda Bynes. If we're being honest, it is hard to choose just one tweet from her notorious crazy social media rants. In more recent years, we've watched the child star sweetheart go through some mental health issues, run-ins with the law, and also some nonsensical posts on Twitter. She's talked about her dating preferences, she's insulted other celebrities, but she got a little personal in one of them and probably regrets it. On October 10th, 2014, she tweeted, "My dad never did any of those things. The microchip in my brain made me say those things, but he's the one that ordered them to microchip me." She's referring to her other tweets where she claimed that he had sexually abused her as a child. For obvious reasons, this could cause a lot of legal troubles, but we know that she was suffering during that time because just a few days later, she began psychiatric treatment. Rolling into number 6 is Bill Cosby. In the past decade, it would be dangerous for anyone to volunteer themselves to be turned into a meme. The social media world is filled with them, and when you have a record like Bill's, they probably aren't going to be very nice. During his massive career-ending battle where he had been charged and jailed with sexually assaulting countless women, the actor-comedian tweeted out a request that his followers meme him. He tweeted a meme of himself and said, "Go ahead, meme me, hashtag Cosby meme." But what he thought might have some innocent fun for people with too much time on their hands quickly turned into people commenting on his legal issues and making jokes about him being a predator. So that's always good. Halfway through at number 5, we have Jason Biggs. The American Pie actor is no stranger when it comes to pushing the envelope with his humor. I'm pretty sure that is what the American franchise did with every single one of his movies. He is known for having a dry style of humor on his Twitter account, so it wasn't totally surprising for fans to see, but they didn't support his joke when it came after a serious world disaster. In 2014, Malaysia Airlines Flight 17 went missing, and the search for it and its passengers became an international sensation and tragedy. Instead of sending condolences or offering any kind of help, the actor decided to make a joke about the trending topic, and he tweeted out, "Anyone want to buy my Malaysian Airlines frequent flyer miles?" His followers were furious and he started receiving tons of backlash, so he later issued an apology and deleted the tweet. Here now at number 4 is Eva Longoria. You know you've made an oopsie on Twitter when headlines start saying that you sent a porn link to your Twitter followers. Leave it up to this actress to accidentally encourage her fans to look at porn. What happened was she was trying to post a link to a website about her husband, basketball star Tony Parker, but she copied the wrong address and actually posted a link that directed people to a porn site. How humiliating. After realizing this, she tweeted out, "Oh no, I put the wrong Twitter site for my husband. The one I put earlier goes to some porn site. Don't use it." Or you could just delete the old tweet, Eva, and then no one can use it. Don't keep the link live and then tell people not to click it. Rolling into the 3rd spot is Ashton Kutcher. For anyone who has Twitter, it's probably hard not to throw your 2 cents in on trending topics. I mean, isn't that what Twitter is all about, basically? Everyone kind of just tweets out their random thoughts and opinions all day, every day. The actor did this and shared his personal opinion about the former Penn State football coach Joe Paterno, who was going through a huge sex abuse scandal within the school's athletic department, and people claimed that he had covered the whole thing up. But it seemed like Ashton was misinformed at the time when he defended the coach and tweeted, "How do you fire Joe Pa? #insult, #no class. As a Hawkeye fan, I find it in poor taste." But after learning the full story, he quickly apologized and went on a break from Twitter altogether not long after that. Coming in hot at number 2 is Anna Kendrick. The hilarious actress often gets a laugh with her jokes and unique humor, but one tweet sparked a controversy and some people think she went too far. But I will let you guys be the judge of that. She made a joke back in 2013 and tweeted, "Ugh, never going to a Ryan Gosling movie in a theater again. Apparently masturbating in the back row is still considered inappropriate." Now, some people could laugh it off, but other people came at her and said it wasn't necessary and that if the roles were reversed, it would not be tolerated. Which I kind of agree with. I think if a man tweeted out about masturbating to a female's movie, it probably would not be considered funny. So I get why she received some backlash for it. However, I also get that she was just trying to make a joke about Ryan Gosling being an absolute babe. It just wasn't a good joke. Earning the number 1 spot on our list is Shaq. Back in 2014, one of his tweets made headlines after he posted a selfie mocking a picture of a man with a rare genetic disease. And the man's name is Jamal Binyan, a regular guy living in Michigan who lives with ectodermal dysplasia, which affects his teeth and his hair. He ended up suing Shaq for $25,000 in damages for emotional distress, so I think it's safe to say that he probably regretted the tweet. I mean, that is a pretty expensive tweet. In his lawsuit, he claimed offensive communications for sharing that photo with more than 8.4 million people worldwide, his followers, and said it was an invasion of privacy, defamation, and general negligence. Shaq did issue an apology after the lawsuit came, both privately and publicly. He tweeted, "Made a new friend today when I called and apologized to Jamal Binyan. Great dude, #my bad cuz." Not only did he receive a lawsuit from the tweet, but he also had to face the public backlash because people were furious with how insensitive and rude he was towards someone with a condition like his. Getting started with number 10, we got 50 Cent. He sent out some tweets that people were calling a disgrace. They were that bad. He's not the type to apologize for his offensive language in his music, but he did issue one after seeing the backlash that his tweets caused. Back in 2012, an angry fan was tweeting at him and he responded by saying, "I don't want no special ed kids on my timeline, follow somebody else. Yeah, I just saw your picture, fool, you look autistic." People were outraged by his insensitive comments, and he later deleted the tweets off his timeline. He also issued an apology saying, "I realize my autism comments were insensitive, however, it was not my intention to offend anyone, and for this I apologize." I mean, I don't know how you thought you were going to tweet that and not offend people. But okay. Up next, number 9 is Mary J. Blige. There is no denying that she's an influential artist who has had an impact on the industry for years. But not only is she a talented singer, she's also very passionate about her intellect, and she will defend it at all costs, even if that means completely humiliating herself on social media. In 2012, one of her tweets went down in history after she responded to people who were apparently questioning her intelligence. She tweeted out, "Why is that people always try to understand, estimate my intelligence? They should never do that." Honestly, this is so ridiculous that I just want to give her the benefit of the doubt and say that she was like so heated that she just typed it up quickly and didn't like spell check it or anything. But there is just so much wrong in this tweet that I don't think she can fully justify it. Sliding into number 8 is Hulk Hogan. When you first hear his name, it's obvious to think of him as the professional wrestler that we all know him as. During the 1980s, he was the most recognized wrestling star worldwide, but as his career went on, his priorities did shift and he became a dad. He has a daughter named Brooke and a son named Nick, who he's remained very close with throughout the years. But one of his tweets made people question if they are a little too close, and frankly, it left people feeling a little uncomfortable. Maybe we're used to seeing protective fathers try and convince their daughters to cover up their bodies, but the wrestler didn't mind that his 24-year-old daughter at the time was showing off her strong figure. He tweeted out a picture of her sitting in a short black dress and captioned it, "Brooke's legs." People started to claim some inappropriate assumptions that I'm not gonna say about his tweet, but Brooke came to his defense simply saying that he is just a proud dad. What do you guys think? Does this make you uncomfortable? Is it okay? I mean, personally, my dad would never tweet out a picture of me in a short black dress commenting on how good my legs look, but I'm not saying any more than that. Moving on to number 7, we have Jessica Simpson. The singer got tangled in some Twitter drama with actress Natalie Portman, and it quickly got blown out of proportion. It all started with an interview that Natalie did with USA Today where she said, "I remember being a teenager and there was a Jessica Simpson on the cover of a magazine saying, 'I'm a virgin' while wearing a bikini, and I was confused." So Jessica responded to the actress through a public statement on Twitter where she explained that in the industry they don't always have control on their image and said that women should not criticize other women for their choices. Jessica laid it down, you guys. Like, she went really ham with her response here. People were going after Jessica at that point, saying that she took Natalie's comments out of context, and then it caused this like wild outpour of drama online that honestly could have just been avoided. And at number 6 is Kim Kardashian. You know when someone sends you a message or says something to you and you can just tell that they are being so insincere? Well, some of Kim's tweets had people feeling this way after she tweeted what seemed to be insincere tweets after a world tragedy. Back in 2012, after Palestine was hit by airstrikes and many people lost their lives, Kim sent out 3 tweets which seemed incredibly forced. She posted tweets back to back. The first one was responding to a fan who commented on her good looks. She wrote, "Aw, I miss my darker hair too, gonna go back to natural soon." Then shortly after that, she tweeted, "And praying for everyone in Palestine and across the world." And then after that one, she tweeted, "Praying for everyone in Israel." All 3 tweets were posted in a 10-minute span and people were really upset by it. She later deleted the tweets and issued an apology. Halfway through at number 5 is Rob Kardashian. I guess it runs in the family. These Kardashians just don't always think before they tweet. If you don't follow their family, Rob is the only brother of the gang, and for a while he was dating Blac Chyna, who's also the mother to his daughter. They had a wild relationship, and the only reason we know is because all their fights were done publicly through social media. Things got so bad during one argument that Rob posted her nude photos on his Instagram account, claiming that she cheated on him. Instagram obviously shut down his account because he did not follow the no nudity policy, so then he tweeted out, "Since Instagram shut me down, everyone peep my Twitter," and he posted the photos again on his Twitter. People were absolutely disgusted, and of course the content was removed by Twitter. Coming in number 4 is Diddy. In 2009, he made everyone uncomfortable after tweeting out a play-by-play on his sex life. It was a weird day, and people were hella confused when he started tweeting out that he was having some crazy wild sex. He sent out multiple tweets, one of them saying, "Having tantric sex, I feel so much better." He continued sharing the unwanted information and later tweeted, "For all those just tuning in, I'm 6.5 hours in on a 36-hour tantric sex session. Welcome." Now, people were thinking that this was like some kind of weird joke, but he wasn't kidding, because 2 years before that, during an interview on the Today Show, he bragged about how he's had sex for 30 hours straight. So he has no problem bragging about it, but the backlash he received made him realize that he did not need to tweet all of that out. Not to mention, my friend, if you're having this crazy tantric sex, you don't got time for Twitter. How are you taking breaks and just tweeting that out if it's so tantric? That's all I'm gonna say. Alright guys, coming in the third spot is Lindsay Lohan. It's hard to forget that she was once put behind bars after a DUI charge and drug possession. And even though some would say she deserved the punishment, she wanted to point out the fact that someone else in the industry deserved it too. Back in 2012, she tweeted out, "Why did I get put in jail and a Nickelodeon star has had no punishment so far?" This tweet came after Amanda Bynes, a former Nickelodeon star, was reported for driving with a suspended license. On a different occasion, she was also involved in a DUI case which involved a hit and run. And Lindsay was right, she did not receive jail time. Some people totally agreed with Lindsay, but others pointed out that Amanda was confirmed to be dealing with mental illness during that time. Lindsay later cleared things up by saying she's nothing against Amanda and that she was trying to say that she's grateful that Disney has always supported her throughout her career. I don't know if I buy that story, but alright. Taking over the number 2 spot is CeeLo Green. It all started after Andrea Swenson, a music editor at City Pages, reviewed his performance opening up for Rihanna. CeeLo didn't take kindly to the review and lashed out on his Twitter account. He tweeted at the blog that posted the review and said, "I respect your criticism, but be fair. People enjoyed last night. I'm guessing you're gay and my masculinity offended you. Well, F you." He just made this assumption that the editor was a gay man, but it was actually a straight woman. After taking heat for offending the gay community, he deleted the tweets and issued an apology. However, in his apology, he just made a joke saying that had he realized the editor was a female, that he would have just hit on her instead. So he's a pleasant man. We've made it to number 1, you guys, and we have Kenneth Cole. The internet was buzzing with anger in 2011 after the fashion designer made light of the protests going on in Egypt at the time. He took the serious event and turned it into a promotion for his new line. He tweeted out, "Millions are in uproar in Cairo. Rumors they heard our new spring collection is now available online." People were furious and he ended up removing the tweet and then issued an apology on his Facebook page. He apologized by saying, "My attempt at humor regarding a nation liberating themselves against oppression was poorly timed and absolutely inappropriate." I mean, I respect his apology, I like that. Wrong time to be promoting your spring collection. Probably shouldn't have made that joke, but his apology does seem sincere.
Coming in at 10, Britney Spears. She tweeted, "Does anyone think global warming is a good thing? I love Lady Gaga. I think she's a really interesting artist." This is a goddamn roller coaster ride of emotions, and taking a stab in the dark, it seems like this is the type of tweet that gets sent when you go back and edit a draft. First, does anyone think global warming is a good thing? No, Britney, no they don't. Global warming is literally leading to the demise of our planet, just saying. And secondly, Gaga's great. Respect. I agree with you on that one. Coming in at 9, Billy Ray Cyrus. He tweeted, "What to heck?" Honestly, this is a mood. What the heck? What the heck is up with the world? What the heck is up with this Riverdale hiatus? I need more episodes. What the heck is taking It Chapter 2 so long? What the heck? What the heck is this video? What the heck is my life? Coming in at 8, Kim Kardashian. She tweeted, "Cowabunga, dudettes. I'm so pumped to be on this surfing kick. Who else surfs out there? Gnarly day in the H2O, riding waves." Ooh, whoa. Righteous, dude. This just might be the greatest tweet I've ever seen or read aloud in my entire life. Talk about an adult trying to reach out to the youths. What's next? Greetings, fellow humans. I'm beginning to think the Kardashians aren't from this planet. Just saying. Righteous. Coming in at 7, President Donald J. Trump. He tweeted, "Everyone knows that I am right that Robert Pattinson should dump Kristen Stewart. In a couple of years he will thank me. Be smart, Robert." Honestly, preach Trump. I'm starting to think he might be a psychic. But honestly, the fact that the now President of the United States once tweeted about our Pats and K-Stew is absolutely baffling to me. I hate everything about this timeline we're living in. As we know, the pair dated, then K-Stew cheated and it ended. But apparently Trump was the only one who predicted this, but I think we're all pleased it ended. We now have Batterson and K-Stew who dates women. I love that. Coming in at 6, is a very aggressive Nicki Minaj. She tweeted, "When I was about 11, I snapped at a slumber party and started beating the shit out of this girl who was picking on me. LMAO. Her name was Damika." I can't. Now, this, again, was a roller coaster ride of emotions. I mean, I get it, we all lose our temper, but to air your past feuds from when you were 11, geez, talk about holding a grudge. But I think my favorite part of this tweet has to be the past tense of Damika. Her name was Damika. Sounds like Damika gone, people. Sounds like Damika gone. Coming in at 5, Kim Kardashian. She tweeted, "What if we spelled people like this? P-pole. That would be funny, I think." There's honestly not a whole lot to say about this tweet other than Kim. If people spelled people like P-pole, you would literally have a bunch of savages peeing on poles. People. Really? This is why we don't let just the average person create a language. It's f***ing dumb. Coming in at 4, we have a very profound tweet from Jaden Smith, who said, "If everyone in the world dropped out of school, we would have a much more intelligent society." Now, there's no defending this tweet. This is just straight up dumb and the signs of an uneducated person. I don't want to be that person to call someone out, but come on, Jaden, sorry to break it to you. If we had no schools, we wouldn't be a more intelligent society. We would all equally be dumb. Eventually reverting back to the era of the cavemen, speaking in tongues and eating off the land, we would be savages. Let's move on. Coming in at 3, Dr. Phil. He tweeted, "If a girl is drunk, is it okay to have sex with her? Reply yes or no to @Dr. Phil. Hashtag teens accused." Yep, this is a very, very real tweet, and that hurts my soul. Back in 2013, Dr. Phil creeped out an entire nation by tweeting about consent. He realized his mistake as soon as he hit tweet, however the damage was already done and thousands of people screenshotted the tweet before it disappeared for good. Of course, it is not okay to have sex with someone who is drunk. It's not okay to have sex with anyone who doesn't give you consent or can't give consent. That, Dr. Phil, is called rape. Coming in at 2, Ashton Kutcher. He tweeted, "How do you fire Joe Parr? Hashtag insult, hashtag no class. As a Hawkeye fan, I find it in poor taste." Okay. So this tweet is a touchy subject and is more of a case of being uninformed than dumb, but still, it's dumb. Think before you type, people. Anyway, for those who don't know, Joe Parr is Joe Paterno, the former Penn State coach who was fired and arrested for charges relating to sexual abuse. However, it seems when Ashton Kutcher tweeted this, defending the coach, he wasn't aware of those charges, according to him anyway. Once again, look, research, think, literally do anything else before you tweet and end up on a list like this. And finally coming in at number 1, Lindsay Lohan. She tweeted, "Hello Facebook. Yes, this is actually Lindsay. Welcome to my Facebook page." She tweeted that on Twitter. I mean, could anything else possibly be our number 1? You don't get a tweet dumber than this, quite literally, considering she wasn't even aware what social media site she was on. At least we know it really is Lindsay. I can't wait to head over to Facebook to check out her Twitter page. Blessed.
Tremaine Copeland says, "Jocelyn, you are an amazing commentator. This list was hilarious to me. Even the most funniest comedians get banned. Hope there's a part 2. Also, your bloopers are lit. LOL." You know, I never know if saying my bloopers are lit is a compliment, because that just means I am messing up all the time. But I appreciate it. Genevieve says, "Piers Morgan is the voice of absolutely no one important." You know, I went through some of the comments and a lot of people hate Piers Morgan. I don't get why. Is he a bad guy? I don't know. I don't have an issue with him right now. James Fraser says, "Hey Joss, a lot of playing with your hair today, I see. LOL. Story of my life. I'm always fixing my hair. It's always in my face. That's why we gotta play that drinking game you guys said. Every time I touch my hair, you take a drink." Crystal number 1 Dewey says, "I freaking love your hair like that. It's gorgeous. Keep up the great job. You're the best." Thank you. Honestly, that means a lot because my hair was in a ponytail in that video and I hate my hair when it's up. So I appreciate that. Sherry Seamark says, "How would you clap back, Joss? You got a good put down, girl." Honestly, I feel like it depends on the situation, but I will clap back. I am not afraid to clap back. Brian Fletcher says, "Top 10 Chrissy Teigen claps, please. She's amazing and nice. Your smile could win a gold medal." Thank you. Actually, we just did a top 10 Chrissy Teigen tweets video coming up on Top 10 Central, my other channel, so go check it out. It'll be on there. Lady J667 says, "Spicy clapbacks and Joss. I am here for them." Honestly, doesn't sound like a bad day to me. Aaron Batty says, "Your B-word censor was very cute. Thanks." Yeah, I mean, I do swear, often, but I am trying to be better and I am trying to censor it with other words that I can use. So I am trying, and I'm happy that you noticed.
Cowabunga dudettes. I can't. I can't. What to heck? This is so dumb. I can't even take myself seriously. What the is this? Coming at 8, Kim Kardashian.